Important thing is to know it was quick. Tragic death of Jim Parsons' father mirrors how Sheldon lost his dad in The Big Bang Theory. Jim Parsons' brilliant portrayal of Sheldon Cooper in The Big Bang Theory remains one of television's most iconic performances, but behind the character's eccentric genius lies a deeply personal and heartbreaking connection to Parsons' real life. While fans of the show were moved by the emotional arc surrounding Sheldon's father's death, few realized that the moment carried painful parallels to the actor's own tragedy. Parsons' father, Jack Parsons, died unexpectedly in a car accident in 2001, and his death eerily mirrors the fate of George Cooper Sr. in both The Big Bang Theory and its spin-off Young Sheldon. The tragedy in Jim Parsons' life shaped not only the man but also the performer who brought Sheldon's complex layers to life. Jim Parsons rarely opens up about his personal losses, but in a rare and touching moment, he once reflected on the devastating passing of his father. During an interview, the actor recalled that his father's death was sudden and that his family was left reeling in shock. "The important thing is to know it was quick," he said, referring to how his father's fatal accident happened without suffering. Those words, though simple, carry the heavy weight of grief and acceptance, a sentiment that would later resurface in his acting, particularly in scenes where Sheldon confronts the idea of mortality and emotional vulnerability. Jack Parsons was driving along a highway in Texas when his car was struck by another vehicle that had crossed into his lane. The accident was instantly fatal. Jim, who was then in his late 20s, had been building his acting career and living away from home. The suddenness of the tragedy left him grappling with a new sense of fragility about life and the inevitability of loss. This personal heartbreak echoed years later in The Big Bang Theory, where Sheldon reveals that his father, George Cooper Sr., died when he was still a teenager. In the series, this revelation was often mentioned in passing, usually with Sheldon recalling his father's flaws, his drinking, his infidelity, his stubbornness, but also moments of warmth that crept through the genius physicist's clinical retellings. Fans initially viewed George's death as a small piece of Sheldon's backstory, but over time, especially through Young Sheldon, that event became a deeply emotional cornerstone in understanding why Sheldon is the way he is. Young Sheldon, which serves as a prequel to The Big Bang Theory, has explored George Sr.'s life in far more depth, showing him not as the one-dimensional father Sheldon once described, but as a flawed yet loving man trying to do his best for his family.